Gentile, as what the Bible tells us, is Buddhist temple. What is interesting, these two structures here, these two animals, they serve as guards. Before you go into the temple, you will meet them. Two animals. Their work are what? To guard the temple. Okay, side by side. But actually, it's not side by side. Because what's interesting is the way the lion is positioned. It is placed ahead of the... Do you notice the one? It is placed ahead of the serpent. Why? The ancient Cambodians, Khmer, they believe that lion is much powerful, more powerful than the serpent. So they put the lion ahead of the serpent. But of course, if you go to Angkor Wat today, the tourist guides will not tell you about the spiritual implication of this temple. But brothers and sisters, this is spiritual. This is religious temple. Of course, there are spiritual implications, so we can learn from these structures. The ancient people of Cambodia, they believe that the lion is much powerful than the serpent. And we all know, we all do know that in the Bible, is Satan as powerful than Jesus? Of course not. So before you go into the temple, you meet the lion first, and then the serpent. But today, in our temples around here in Thailand, what do we see before we go to the temples? What do we see? Do we still see the lion or just serpent? Yeah, just serpent. No more lions. No more lions. And in the Bible, we know that the serpent represents Satan, and the lion represents Jesus. The Bible tells us that a body is what? Temple of God. When people see us, when people meet us, what do they see first, brothers and sisters? What is guarding your soul? Is it the lion of the tribe of Judah? Or is it the Naga, the seven-headed serpent? This is the question I'd like to leave to you this morning as we contemplate of God's goodness. Who is controlling my life? Who is much stronger in my life? Is it Jesus or is it the higher power? I would like to entitle my message this morning. If you could notice the time and look at your program, the bulletin, it says that we're really behind our schedule. But anyway, have you ever asked yourself, did it ever occur to you, brothers and sisters, why do people speak in different languages? Why is there Thai? Why is there English? Why our friend here, Tav, speaks, I don't know, Swahili maybe? Why is there Mandarin, English, Ilocano, Bisaya, Ilonggo? Why all of these different languages? What is the reason? The Tower of Babel? Yes, we know the story of the Tower of Babel, that the language was confused. But I tell you, brothers and sisters, friends, it is not God's plan for people to speak in different languages. It is never God's plan. Why? Why do we speak in different languages? Because of what? Because of sin. Sin will always separate people. Language separates people. There is fragmentation, there is separation. The Philippines is far from the mainland of Asia, America, Africa is distant. But when God created the world, it's just one whole piece of land. There's no separation. So, what is the reason why we speak different languages? Because of sin is why we always have this struggle to express ourselves. Even I myself, I have this struggle to speak in English because it is not my mother tongue. But I hope and pray that we are leaving room for the Holy Spirit to work with us. So the things that I cannot express well, I pray for the Holy Spirit to teach you, to tell you about that. Amen?
Amen.
The same also with the challenges here in Thailand. Sometimes we make this as an excuse ministry, when it comes to God, we should set aside these excuses, this result of sin, and go forward. Now, who am I? This is the story of Daniel. But before we go to the text, how well do we know Daniel? What do we know about Daniel? Is Daniel a married man? Yes or no? Does Daniel have children? Is Daniel vegetarian? Before I went to IS, I thought Daniel was a vegetarian. After I came out of IS, I strongly believe that Daniel is not vegetarian. And do you know Daniel is a married man? How well do we know Daniel? We all know Daniel as a single man. He's eunuch, right? He's castrated. But actually, Daniel is not castrated. Go with me, Ezekiel. Do you have your Bibles with you? Please, Ezekiel chapter 14. Ezekiel chapter 14.